Hi everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOC Reader, and welcome back to my channel. And today I just wanted to talk about a few of my bookish icks. So these are things that, like, if I read them in a book, I'm just like, I can't do it, or I don't want to do it, and where it makes me uncomfortable. So let's get into it, because the first one, it's kind of a big one for me. It is any romance set in like a Catholic church environment. As somebody who went to Catholic church for years and years and still goes occasionally on Easter and Christmas, and who helped out at the church and went to Catholic school, I just cannot do that when like a priest or a nun is hooking up with a member of the congregation. I'm like, but where's the person who's going to report this to the diocese? Like, we need to leak this to the local news, especially if you've ever had a scandal within your diocese of like a priest like abusing their power, which we definitely had one. I didn't know the priest because that was not the church that I went to, but it still happened in the area, and like it was a huge thing. Like those people are supposed to be people you can actually confide in and lean on. Like, you're supposed to be able to go to confession and tell the priest your deepest dark secrets. Like, they're supposed to be friendly. Like, it's just an uneven power dynamic for the position that they play within the community. It doesn't work for me at all. Offensive narratives hiding behind the word satire. So I'm noticing this more and more and more, and I don't know why publishing is, no, I do know why publishing is picking up these hateful books, but these are not satire. Satire is supposed to be humorous, first of all, and none of these books are ever funny. It's not, and it's supposed to have a deeper message. I never come out with a deeper message in these stories. It's just like those across the aisle love stories where it's blatantly telling you that this makes no sense, but still the person is pushing aside like the fact that this person is racist or homophobic or this or that. That's not it. Like, I remember I read one that was calling itself a satire, and it had the most offensive telenovelas type caricatures of Latinx people, and it was specifically claimed it was trying to make a statement about immigration, but I'm like, statement where? Like, you just made this family look terrible for no reason, and that's not most people's story. So I hate those books that pretend to be satire and they're not even close. Romance between minors and adults. Like, I'm not even about to sit up here and argue with anybody about that. That's nasty. Like, a child cannot consent to an adult. And I don't care if it's one of those states where the age of consent is 16 because men are gross and need it to be lowered so that they can have an excuse for hooking up with children. Like, there's like, it's not. It's not. Black characters inviting their non-black friends into black safe spaces. I keep seeing this a lot, and to be honest, I mostly see it in like YA, although I think it's creeping into adult a little bit too, and I'm not here for it at all. It's like as bad as those books like where the whole plot is racism and they have a white partner. It's like along the same line of ick. Like, you cannot be trying to make a statement throughout your book and completely negate it by doing that. Like, black safe spaces are black spaces for a reason. Just because your friend is what you consider an ally does not mean everybody else has to welcome them and consider them an ally. And I see it way too much, and every time I read it in a book, I'm just like, pause, because that's not it. Surprise pregnancy. Surprise pregnancy in books. Like, I've read many of them. It's a little bit easier when you go in knowing like it's gonna happen, but a lot of times I feel like unless you're picking up category romance, you really don't know it's in there unless you're like actively looking, and it never works for me. Like because I just think about how traumatizing that is for two people to be forced together when they don't even really know each other or like each other, how that's going to affect the child just because, oh, the condom broke or we decided not to use them or whatever. Like, I think I've read one where it actually worked for me, but and it technically wasn't a surprise because you knew going into the book it was going to happen. But like every other one I've read, like these people were not getting along at all, like at all. They like knew nothing about each other, and like now we're saying they're supposed to live happily ever after. No. Any book where there's elitism surrounding reading or any type of education, I hate that. Like I see that debate a lot too online where people think reading books makes you inherently smarter, and I'm seeing that pop up in actual books a lot more now too, and that is not true. First of all, there's so many different hobbies you can have besides reading, so I don't know why people who think that they read are so much better than people who don't. Like I don't care if a guy reads or not. Like other hobbies exist. But reading doesn't make you smarter. Like, are you mostly reading nonfiction? Are you mostly reading to learn? Because I thought most of us were reading to just have fun. Or at least so people keep saying it, but then they try to act like because they read more they're smarter and better. I don't like that elitism. I don't like that elitism where somebody has a specific job and they consider it a much better job than everybody else, and they feel the need to flaunt that job. Let's not do that. And my last bookish ick is just going to be when the first book is just a setup for the series. It's not like as bad as the other ones, but still, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, what is the point of me reading a 400-page book only to not really have anything happen, because all the action is going to happen in book 2 or all the action is going to happen in book 3. It just makes it a waste of my time, because I feel like despite all like having the whole book to set like to establish character, these books really don't even do a great job with that. Like I kind of prefer when we're doing a series and every book can basically read almost like a standalone where they have their overarching arc, but you get to follow the characters on this journey and have like a somewhat satisfying ending. So those are just a few of my bookish icks. Let me know if you have any icks down below or what you think of any of these. And if you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!